What if I tell you that most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss? They fail because they aim too low and hit. From a young age, many of us are taught to be realistic, to lower expectations, to avoid dreaming too big in case we get disappointed. But here's the truth. Every great achievement you see today started as a big thought in someone's mind. Before it became reality, it was an idea that looked impossible, unrealistic, even crazy. Thinking big is not about arrogance, it is about permission. Permission to imagine more for yourself. Permission to believe that your background does not define your ceiling. Permission to see beyond your current circumstances. When you think small, you act small. You apply for the safe opportunity instead of the stretching one. You stay quiet instead of sharing your ideas. You settle instead of building. But when you think big, your actions begin to expand. You take calculated risks. You learn new skills. You step into rooms you once thought were not for you. Thinking big changes behavior, and behavior changes results. Many people limit themselves before life even has the chance to test them. They say, "People like me can't reach that level. I don't have the connections. I don't have the resources." But big thinking forces you to ask a better question. What if I could? What if you could build that business? What if you could lead that team? What if you could change your financial story? What if you could inspire thousands? The mind is powerful. It cannot pursue what it cannot see. When you expand your vision, you expand your direction. Of course, thinking big can feel uncomfortable. Big dreams create big responsibility. They demand growth. They demand discipline. They demand patience. But discomfort is not a warning sign. It is often a growth sign. Think about any area of your life where you improved. At first, it felt unfamiliar, challenging, maybe even intimidating. But you adapted, you learned, you grew. Big thinking works the same way. It stretches you until your old limits no longer fit. And here's something important. Thinking big does not mean ignoring small steps. It means connecting small steps to a large vision. A skyscraper is built brick by brick, but no one lays the first brick thinking they are building a small house. They have a blueprint. They have a grand design. Your life needs a blueprint too. When you think big, daily tasks gain meaning. Waking up early is not just about discipline. It is about building your future. Studying is not just about passing exams. It is about expanding opportunities. Saving money is not just about restriction. It is about creating freedom. Big thinking gives purpose to small actions. Without a big vision, it is easy to lose motivation. But with a big vision, even setbacks become part of the journey. You begin to see failure differently. Instead of seeing it as proof that you are incapable, you see it as part of the process of building something significant. Big thinkers understand that mistakes are lessons, not labels. They understand that progress is rarely straight. There will be delays, there will be criticism, there will be doubt. Some people may even laugh at your ambition. But remember, every major breakthrough in history was once questioned. The difference between those who achieve greatly and those who don't is not talent alone. It is belief. Belief in possibility, belief in growth, belief that the future can be bigger than the present. When you surround yourself with small thinking, your dreams start shrinking to fit the room. But when you expose yourself to bigger ideas, bigger conversations, bigger goals, your mind expands. That is why environment matters. Read books that challenge you, listen to people who inspire you, have conversations that stretch your imagination, feed your mind with possibility, because what you consistently think about eventually shapes what you pursue. There is also a powerful confidence that comes from thinking big. Not fake confidence, not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that says, "I may not know everything yet, but I am capable of learning." Big thinking shifts your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes for change and start seeing yourself as someone who creates change. And identity drives behavior. When you see yourself as a future leader, you prepare differently. When you see yourself as a future entrepreneur, you observe differently. When you see yourself as someone destined for impact, you move differently. Always thinking big does not guarantee instant success, but it guarantees that you won't box yourself into a small life. It ensures that you explore your full potential instead of settling for comfort. Comfort feels safe, but growth feels rewarding, and growth begins in the mind. Imagine looking back at your life years from now. Would you rather say, "I tried something bold and learned from it," or "I always wondered what would have happened if I had aimed higher"? Regret often comes not from failure, but from hesitation.
from the dreams we talked ourselves out of, from the opportunities we dismissed because they felt too big. The truth is, your current situation does not determine your final destination. Many successful people started with limited resources, limited support, limited knowledge. What they did not limit was their thinking. They allowed themselves to imagine more, and because they imagined more, they pursued more. Because they pursued more, they achieved more. Thinking big also inspires others. When you dare to dream boldly, you silently give others permission to do the same. Your ambition becomes contagious. Your courage becomes motivating. You may not realize it, but someone is watching how you handle your goals, your growth, your setbacks. When you refuse to shrink your dreams, you challenge others to stop shrinking theirs. So how do you start thinking bigger? You start by questioning your limits. Ask yourself, who told me this was impossible? Is this truly beyond my ability or beyond my comfort? Then expand your exposure. Study people who have achieved what you desire. Break large goals into clear steps. Write down your vision. Speak it, see it, revisit it. Train your mind daily to expect growth instead of fear. Over time, your thoughts will align with expansion rather than restriction. Always think big, not because it sounds motivational, but because your life responds to the size of your vision. Small thinking produces small results. Big thinking produces growth, resilience, creativity, and opportunity. You are capable of more than you have allowed yourself to imagine. The only question is whether you are willing to give yourself permission to imagine it. So raise your standards, expand your goals, enlarge your vision. Let your dreams be uncomfortable. Let them stretch you. Let them challenge you. Because the life you desire will always require a bigger version of you. And that bigger version begins with a bigger thought.